Chat. Type in chat. I've not played this in a minute. Chat. This game kind of got fucking washed for me when we got 3 cards left and I have no fucking clue where to get them. I feel like it should be all 1,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,0 Game chat. Ultra Dark Ink Synergism. Do we have Synergism? Have Synergism? We don't have Synergism. But when we click on Synergism, and then it just says this. Well, let's look it up. Synergism. 1 trillion free drops. Alright, chat, part of me is saying that it's the yellow one, cause right, like, okay. Look at it like this. Ultra bright papers, it's stuck in between these two sticky cards. We don't have sticky cards either, and sticky cards are above this. What would make sense for sticky cards? I'm going to type standard. What action is it? Alright, it says that it's no faction. Alright, maybe I was right. Maybe let's open up a card, a no faction card. Right, we should get something. I mean, it should increase the odds of it just because of... No, we got 5-year bombs. That doesn't make sense for it to be sandwiched between that and this. Synergism, sticky cards. What about this sleeping game? It doesn't fucking make any sense, chat. I guess we just gotta pull standards. But chat, good news today. UEFA Europa League. Actually, let's start with just the UEFA country coefficients. Alright, let's look. Good news. We don't have to put, like, this has been going on for a while, but we don't have to press this to continue, right? More good news. I think no matter, like, we're gonna end the season at 10 because I don't exactly know how this fucking works. Because we're supposedly 11th right now. But, like, we're listed 10th here. I don't know. 2 of our teams have been knocked out? Wait, who? Górnik? Oh, and GKS Katowice. Okay, so we are only 3 teams deep. Which is kind of good and bad. Wait, really? UEFA Conference League. Are they not in the Conference League? Full match schedule. Atalanta, Midland. Oh, they are. Wait, no, Rockwolf is still in it. And then Górnik still is too. But for Europa League, we tied, which means we're still in it. Right? Aggregate 2-3. We beat Random. Big fucking shout. That's kind of a spoiler. That's 3 teams there, and then if you look at left, they're still playing tomorrow, and they're up on aggregate. Although, GKS, they're out. They're out. Won 2-1 today, but you lost 0-2 last time. So I don't know what this means. I'm pretty sure we're at still only 4. But it's whatever. We're at 2 points now, which means out of the teams in the top 10. We're the biggest leaders right now. Which is very strange. These teams don't have any qualifying teams. They're just like too good, I guess, right? They just get automatic bids. France does. And Portugal, Belgium. So we have to be top 5. Right? Like, this is good, but the only reason it's good is because, like, we had to play earlier. Like, these guys are going to be fresher. And all that going into it. And chat. Our dreams could really almost lend us to number 8. Because they're losing 13 points. We're losing 7.75. Or they're losing 13.5. We're losing 7.75. Because they got like 6 or 5 on us, really. So if it were to end right now, it'd be bad. But like, here's the thing about these things, right? These last ones get cut off, right? And so Turkey has been kind of like stable. They've had like around that 10 to 12 range, right? So they're kind of stable with their score, but it's higher than ours, and we've been increasing like low-key kind of rapidly, right? 7, and then another down year with 6.87, but then 11, and then 15, right? When this score is better than all of them. If you're looking at the highest peak, like, obviously we haven't proved that we can average it, and neither has like any of these teams. I mean, Netherlands got to 15 and they got basically 14 before, but then the other years they've kind of been on par with, I wouldn't really say on par with us, but like We've had really good 2 good seasons. This one isn't even like good comparatively. This is like their average, but if we can make the push, now we have 4 teams, which means all our wins will be divided by 4 instead of 5. Which is even better for us. We got 2 teams in Europa, which I guess, like, in all likelihood, we might. It depends on how well Górnik Kraków, and I'm pretty sure Lech is also just going to qualify for Europa, but it really depends on how those 2 teams do in Conference League. Hopefully they make it far. Not like the most trusted. Like Rakuf, they play well. They play, they're pretty good. Górnik haven't been at the top for a while, so I'd like to see how they went. The games that I've seen from them, not the best. Although this game, they kind of just plucked it with an own goal. But I'm mentioning this because if we lost 7, or let's actually just do the math. 49.895. Oh, they didn't. Oh, my 4 is fucked. Minus 13.5, right? Yeah, 13.5 equals 36.3 something, and then it's 44125 minus 7.75, right, chat? $36.375, 36.3. So chat, if the shit ends right now, and then obviously we can do Turkey as well. 46.775 minus 11.8, right? They're slated, if the shit ended right now, pretty far. If we look at this, right, the third qualifying leg, we still have one of our teams playing here. And then for the Conference League, they're already in the playoffs, it looks like. They're already in the playoffs. And then also, let's just check Champions League. They're starting their playoffs. So after the qualifiers for all these events, which ends tomorrow, I'm pretty sure Lech can either win or tie. I'm pretty sure Lech is going to qualify for the Europa League. If they win or tie after the qualifying rounds of this season, Poland would be slated to go 8th. Right? Although, obviously, this is kind of a discrepancy because Netherlands. I wish you could just click on it and they'll tell you all their, like, association shit. Like, they probably have, they have 4 teams. They got their cup winner, I think. No, that's not how it works. I don't know how they got an extra spot. I'm sure it's deserved, though. I don't know how these teams get 7 and 8 and a 9. I know these teams got extra. I don't know why they got 7, though. Netherlands, I don't know. I can't trust this because it's not true for us either. But if I had to guess, I would feel like Netherlands would make a deeper run. So, like, maybe fun little factoid. But yeah, we really, our goal is to get more than this many points. Our goal is to be better than 7.75, and the fact that we already have 2, and we have 4 teams, heading into the playoff round, and then let's learn more about the rankings. It's even for it's calculated adding up the points between all its clubs in a given season of the league. Champions League for Europa League and Conference League, and then dividing it into that. These are as follows: 2 for win. Okay, so we're still at the 1 and the 0.5 points. Then we also don't get anything for qualifying. They will. They'll probably get a team in the Champions League, I'm sure. Right? We'll get that, which means if all teams win, we'll get 4 points divided by 4 would be 1. Which would mean we'll have 3. So we'd be well on the way there, and then it'd double from there. So I think we could do it. Netherlands Champions League. England, Spain, Germany, Belgium, Italy, Netherlands. So Feyenoord, Turkey, Italy, Germany, France, England, Italy, France, Portugal, Netherlands, Spain, Italy, Ukraine, Czech, Portugal, Germany, Spain. I don't know why Czech, Ukraine get these automatic spots. And here in the playoffs, they have another note. So they have 3 teams here. And they're going to make it in the league phase. So they're guaranteed to make 12 points. Damn. Damn. And then any of them here, or none of them here, so that's good. But 3 Champions League teams. This one's not guaranteed to get the points, but they're guaranteed to get 12 points. That's gonna be tough. Not since the turn of the century, though. But yeah. Look at the Conference League schedule real quick. Hajduk split versus Raukloof. I remember Yaga having to play them. They didn't do too bad. I'm pretty sure we might have actually won that game, but this is a challenge. It's not the easiest draw for them. Yeah, beat Žalgiris 4-0-9-2 aggregate, bro. They're coming off of a fucking nice little momentum booster. And then we have Rangers in Conference League. They might win it, actually. Who else? They'll hear playoff legs. Monaco, maybe. Ajax. Oh, Grunic are playing against Monaco. They're fucked. They're actually fucked, bro. Okay, so we're not making it really that deep in the Conference League this year. That sucks. That fucking sucks. Oh, God, that fucking sucks, bro. That sucks for them. Like we can't, there's a world where we, upset, but, I don't think that's the case, bro. So a lot of to be determined. I don't know why. There's only, 1 game left to be played, no? Yeah, all these are kind of done. Done. That own goal, bro. Yes, look like we're playing Trabzonspor, bro. I have to go. Yes? Oh my god. Salzburg. Shout out Salzburg. They started Rocky. They started my boy Mazurek. Like, yeah, they don't have the team that we're playing against. Full time. Shout. They had the Rangers. They got the Rangers ready to place. Shamrock Rovers. Hey, Scotland's not doing well. 2-7 on aggregate against fucking Benfica. Good team. Don't really blame them. 6-4 aggregate against Ignatia from Albania. With them getting a red card in this game. Mind you, before this game, it would have been 3-1. They Shamrock blew 3-1 to an Albanian side. And the Rangers, I'm telling y'all, it looks like they did decent, bro. Own goal and penalty. A very stupid penalty. Like, we'll see the highlights. Bad penalty. They didn't really create much for themselves at all. So, Scotland doesn't. Or no, Shamrock Rovers is Ireland, right? Celtic. What am I thinking of? Sorry. I just clowned them. I clowned them for no reason. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, we got that, that shouldn't have been the score, bro. Like, hey, transfer market's back, so I could look up everything I wanted to last time. Which is maybe why I've been streaming, I've been forgetting, I forgot about this. But yeah, Klaksvik. Klaksvik is worth around, their average age is 20 as well, so they're kind of, it's 3.4 mil. So obviously it's football, anything could happen. My brother made sure to remind me that when I told him who we were playing against, which is a team that's like, we're at 6.55, but we had an option to like literally play a team that was like 150k more than them. Their best player, 300k. The side that we're playing against, also very cheap. They just had a 1.5 million player because they had like a 17-year-old. It's like, this team is bad, chat. Like should easily been able to like take care of them last game, but it's in Polish now. But yeah, they could have taken care of business. I want to see any other stuff because there are some things that I want to check out. First of all, SofaScore didn't have any of the ratings, but I think they will now just because it is the playoffs. Lineups. Yeah. None here. Oh, that's the wrong team. Okay, Kansai Sao got hurt, so we got replaced. And then he replaced that. This dude took out. I liked Imaz. Not really. This dude, shout out. I didn't realize he was in until he did some nice, cool little score against VJF. He had a really bad mistake. He could have, I think, set up a goal, but still young. 215k means he went up, right? That's nice. Let's look at their profiles. I'm in Polish, sorry. It's 27.1. I don't know why it's in that doesn't change, which is weird. They're in the second team. I don't know why it's in Polish, but it's in Polish. Doesn't change the evaluation of this. It's still 4 million, but now they just use this different sign, so how accurate is it? We don't know. Still 5 mil for him. Prelates is in Oxford United. Is he on loan for there? I don't think he's on loan. I'm pretty sure we have him. And Anders Klinge also. I'm pretty sure we got him. This means loan. Yeah, the pictures on the one shows okay, and then Opata 500 Tish, which is 500,000, and then this is 850,000. Most got an assist for us, and he was the most that he came from CD Tondela. This dude, I want to see his worth. Because they didn't give him it. Chat. He maxed out over here at 1.5. Right now he's at 600,000. We paid a little bit more than that. But chat, he technically scored 2 goals. I don't know why they're not giving it to him. But, that's fucked. I want to go back to that game now. Yaga versus Rangers. Not this one. Oh, why is it taking forever? I'm surprised. I feel like his worth should have went up, especially since... there it was. Go back up, this one. Yeah, I guess some teams are some things are counting it, some aren't. Please don't give me, yes, there we go. $27.1, oh, I guess it is, it's euros. Never mind. He's on loan, 5 million for 3. Yeah, I'm surprised he's that worth that much now. Has he gone up? Is there a way to show? Gallery. Detailed. On record, we got Mood Baby made 4 million. I think that number did go up though, so I think someone went up. They're on the second team. Scylla 300k, 350, 500, 500, 500, 600. He went down, I'm pretty sure. 700, 750, 750, 800, 800, 1 mil, I think. No, he stayed the same. I think we just got a deal on him. 1 million. 1.2, 1.5, and 3, 4, 5. Did he go up? Like, people are saying no. I'm sure. No, I'm pretty sure they're the same. They did go up. How do I check, squad, market value analysis? Him, what's they saying? Current expectation 9 million, another season as a reliable presence in Jagiellonia's goal. League's best goalkeeper at his feet, agile and with excellent resources, just met his performances in the first 2 league matches. It's fair to say his standard is slowly approaching international level. Lad has over 100 extra classic appearances under his belt, and he's only 22. Which is cool. Deleted user. Can't really take his word. He's saying he's worth 9, and if he's worth 9, I am taking that chat. Sergio Lozano, I think that's after one of these games. Highest valuation of 2 million, now he's at 1.5. What is he? Team playing time, Amazon has called his name. It's a billion lottery shooting armor the best league. Shout out. Says he should be worth more than what he was starting with us as. Drew, Emaz, we've already seen. Schmidt. Someone should have said something after. The John Force when we played. Yeah, we've seen this before. I was hoping there would be something better said about him after his brace, not brace. I didn't see he was hurt. Zalewski. What did they say? Her estimation is 1 million. Shout out. If it's more, then it's more. The extra class is already able to sell players such as Eda, Leszczynski, and Lisbon for 6 months, 3 million, 2.5 million, respectively. Those cannot possibly be worth less than 1 million euros right now. Especially as his player qualities are often far on the market, and a left-footed winger, and he has a 3-year contract. Overall, this year's restrictions are obviously, well, we are still seeing rising inflation in football. There are also increasing sizes of this slide will be given a chance in the coming season. The risk of rise due to market inflation is limited, especially as, in the worst case scenario, I believe it's better let the valuation drop gradually rather than see it suddenly skyrocket from 200,000 to say 5 million. It simply looks a bit more professional after all. Players mentioned above didn't have to play much at all for clubs to pay a pretty penny for them, whereas Zalewski did manage to clock up a few minutes in the recently concluded season. What's more, when you look at the valuation placed in the older Kovacic, who didn't actually play much more than him. His valuation seems a bit of a joke. Really, I realized that Kovacic had a bit of a run in the Champions League, but as we can see, like, yeah, we're selling off players en masse. Hasn't found a buyer for him yet, and is he really a player who fits Popstrom's style? I'm not sure, so I reckon that contrary to appearances, spending 1 million on him isn't any less risky than a punch on Zalewski. Yeah, which makes sense. Right now he's went from like 25k to 200k. A pretty big jump, and just looking at other players, they've been worth the same, so like, who knows? No one really said anything about Eric Kozłowski. Yeah, you know, like he's shown like he's now gotten Europa League play, or at least qualifying play. Pavel Pakila. And we called up a bunch of these guys. 20 years old, dude. Imagine being this guy, bro. You're 20, you're still young, like, you got decent potential, like, you're playing for the top team, but, like, you got youngins like, Zalewski and Kozłowski. Where is he? Yeah, and Kozłowski, who are, like, younger than you, and they're, like, fucking showing out and getting play. That, I would be pissed, bro. I'm like, bro. All these guys are still pretty young. Jakub Rabiczko, Adrian Tomasiewicz. He's a goalie, though. Kuczynski. But I feel like he could be good, bro. I think he'd be sneaky good because, which is like a worse team than the Jags. And let's look at their team. No, he's not getting called up. And they do have center forwards. They do have young center forwards worth up to $1 million. But this is a team you can very easily play on, right? Let's look at, what was his name? standard. We don't get the card multiplier, but that's fine, because, like, we just want to pull these cards for your moms. That's great. Thanks a lot. What's his name? He should be high up here. Guess not. Maxim Kononov. What should I just say here? For the bet clique 2-3, so like the lowest league, he's only played twice. He's had 91% of the minutes though, and 100% of the starting 11. 1/4 of the total goal participation. Not bad. Out of 3 games, he's never played one. Out of 2 games, he hasn't played. Which makes sense. Here, start at Delta, made his way up kind of to Yaga. Played a little bit at Skierniewice. 2 goals and assist for like the 4th level of Polish play. Not bad. Worth 7K. National team career. Played 5 games, so scored a goal and then played 4 games. Didn't score a goal in the U17. He was on the bench for this game against Tajikistan's U20s. He didn't play against Croatia's U19. But the games that he played, he hasn't lost. There's been a couple of draws. He did score, but like I have a feeling everyone did. Only played for like 45 minutes at a time though. Didn't play against here. Twice he was substituted on. 3 times he was on the starting 11. And then 2 times just on the bench. Never did any of that. So they have an eye on him. Whoa, why is he like a fucking mogger here, chat? Not gonna lie, this picture he looks chopped as fuck, and then that picture, there's no way that's him, bro. Doesn't play, of course we knew that. April 14th, played against, he scored a goal actually against Nordage Stout. Oh, how was, yeah, he scored the tying goal against this team. He was subbed on. Kozlowski, that guy. Obviously they would play. Pakil as well as the young guy, so. I don't know, they all seem to have professional pictures. Shout out these guys. It's probably this year only. So like some chat, we need to win this game on Saturday. Players, let's go to market value. Can't really, doesn't really have that. This you can score this guy. 0.1. My brother said there was a more accurate transfer market, like transfer team or something. Transfer room, maybe? No. very clearly like more professional, and apparently uh, FIFA is using it. Wrong one, okay. But yeah, Chad, we got future ahead. I don't know how good we're good at developing, especially goalies, because that last goalie that we trained played a lot better. This kid, I think we need to develop this kid just good enough to get him to play for Belarus. I mean, he doesn't have market value, but U19 he could definitely. He might not even be able to play just because of his age. He should be on this one. No. Damn. He's got to get some minutes. Man against two, though. I'm only play against Vichista. Stick him in here. Stat leaders, goals. Damn, Jordy Sanchez got 4 already, bro. This dude chill couldn't really get it going against Fibonacci though. Or French Faros, I should say. In fact, they got 6 goals. They played 3 games. Damn. Nick Perla's got 2 and 3. That's not bad. Assists. A lot of ones. Jags guy not here anymore. Yellow cards. Wilhelm Montoya, you gotta be more disciplined. I mean, red cards. No. Oh, I thought that was Badi Fiaga. Fidaga? Figa? I forget. But he used to play for my side. Oh. You get up, bro. We gotta get these spots, bro. Top 2, we know we can. I know we can. Let's get it going, Chad. Let's get it going. $3.23 billion. Give me the ones I don't got. Give me sticky cards. Give me something else. Your mom. Thanks. Alright, I'll be back, Chad. Girl, I'm not a lame. I do not play that. Alright, sorry chat, I'm back. Just throw it away? Eh? What does that mean? Info book gallery. Oh. Barry. Girl, I'm not a lame. I do not claim that. Let's see what the highlights are up on YouTube, bro. Chat. Alright, it's funny because this is like exactly what I wanted, but like, chat. Extended highlights. Humiliation. Rangers dumped out of Europa League. Chat, is it that embarrassing, chat, bro? It's not that embarrassing, right,
What
chat?
if I guaranteed you 1 million views or you didn't pay anything? That's not a pitch. That's literally our offer. Here's why we can make it work. Our average client gets 15.5.
Here is Asgard. Fernandez, the obvious target. It was Fernandez that got up. Drops to Gassama.
Visual chance.
Raskan's in there.
Clearing it away. Good defending by this guy, although those who know.
It's Mekanya with the effort. Stinks the palms of Abramovich. Still danger here with Gassama, who goes down. Jedi Gassama told to get to his feet. Claims for a Rangers free kick there. Mekanya keeps alive. Dan Neil for Asgard. Raskan finds Yokota. Rangers with two very attack-minded wing-backs tonight. Nicely in was Sterling. Sterling again looking for Shankland. Got his effort on target, but Abramovich was equal to it.
Yeah, it's better, Cal. Just more energy, playing forward a bit quicker, causing a bit more confusion.
Delivery in towards
Ah, bro, first real chance, bro, like,
Romanchuk that was up.
would have been nice if they just kind of snuck in, but always nice to have a chance that
Here's Clinch. Nice ball
that
through.
really
Looking for Imaz. It's off the post.
Imaz, that should have went in, bro.
Thought it looked offside, Cal. First initial thought.
Rangers breathe a sigh of relief. It's the experienced Spaniard who strikes the woodwork.
It's a brilliant pass.
Here is Schmidt, the danger man of last week. Romanchuk for Montoya. Chagalonia looked at double their advantage. Kotze Sal's ball across. It was
Another
Imaz in
one,
again.
but I don't really blame him for that.
Just a bit ropey there, Cal. A couple of chances in quick succession, and they really should be in front. I thought he was offside, my initial thought. Just a simple pass, a good pass, straight through the middle.
Sterling for Yokota. Step overs again, and down the right hand side. Delivery across. Wojciech manages to get it away. And Raskan wins it back though. There's Sterling for Dan Neil. Rangers support getting behind their team. Gassama tries to go down the line. The free kick is given in Rangers' favour. The handball against Jagiellonia's fullback.
Yeah, does well, Gassama. Brilliant again on the other side. Riakoa, just direct, exciting, first thought, just twisting and turning, but he's got that low sense of gravity as well, plus the strength and the power.
Yeah, right here, chat, right here,
On
chat.
the other side, Riakoa, just direct, exciting, first thought, just twisting and turning, but he's got that low sense of gravity as well, plus the strength and the power.
Handball, bro, he's
Almost
trying
like
for
a
the
handball.
header.
Well, there is going to be a VAR check at Ibrox.
It's his hand. It's clear, I can see that already. Clear as day, his left hand.
Here we go then. The signal and the penalty is awarded. There is.
He's saying
Former
what,
Celtic
like,
defender
it was kind of
Yuki
there.
Kobayashi.
At first, when I was on live, like, I didn't watch it in
Guilty
this high
man in the
quality because I was
box.
watching it off, like, a poor
And Rangers will
podcasting.
have the chance from the spot.
And then I thought he was going to miss it just because his name is Shankland. He
He
goes
makes
middle.
no mistake. There is a first Rangers goal for the captain. It is a late birthday present for the 31-year-old. Imas.
And that one I don't blame. Like, he... Especially, what was it? That one really deep playoff run. Where... Or conference league run. Where Palulu, I think, ended with the fucking most goals scored in the conference league. And then Imaz was kind of tearing it up in the domestic league. But ever since then, I'm not gonna lie, his quality has dropped. And he's such a weird player because he's good enough to find these chances, right? Like, you can't take that away from him. Like, he can find these chances, he just can't finish them. And that's, like, such a weird player to deal with, because it's like, okay, we can replace you, but then when we replace you, we don't get those chances, and if we don't get those chances, we can't really score them. But then, like, it's paradoxically like, well, we're scoring them. Right? Chat, I didn't see this live. Holy shit. Chat. They have these motherfuckers quarantined, bro. Bro. Shout out the fucking Scottish flag but flipped for our colors. That's what's up. There's people here, like... of emptiness, a wall of people in between. They're like, we gotta watch these motherfuckers. Dude, what did they think that we were gonna do?
With the delivery, Fernandez, the target, makes its way to Gassama. Lovely from Gassama, clips one into the far post. The header back across. It's just headed behind at the far post. I think it was Nico Raskan.
He's brilliant in the areas. Raskin, I've seen it over. He's been
This
at
is
the club.
crazy, bro.
Someone who's not big in stature, he's done really well.
Well, one back now, Shankland. For Asgard, it was slightly behind him, but he gets it out of his feet. The effort at goal is narrowly wide. The Rangers push for a second.
Yeah, I mean, he's got that quality as Asgard. Just finds a nice space. more than happy. Goes actually just behind him, Lauren Shank on that initial pass. And he just does well, he swivel, knows what's around him, awareness.
Rangers have looked threatening from corners so far. Another dangerous looking delivery. Claimed in the end by Abramovich, but Fernandez the target once more.
It's not a brilliant ball in. Tilo Asgard. There's a real speed. Right height. In the right area for somebody to go and attack. I don't know how it didn't end up in the back of the net. Bodies around it.
Shout out this dude. Me and my brother both thought he was like in his 30s, but apparently still only 24.
Toya under pressure. Manages to wriggle his way out of it. The ball through.
Look, another chance created. This one was crazy.
Relic is there.
That would have been an insane goal.
Brilliantly worked move from Jagiellonia as they look to go back in front on aggregate.
I swear, we as a team play better when we're behind. Like when we're in a position where we need to score a goal, that's when we actually score goals. Like, how many times have we won from behind? Like I feel like, well, our first game, we won kind of. No, the first game we won last minute.
To steel-toed boots. Granger's
Literally like in like the 80th, 85th minute something. Next game we fell behind, or we 1-0, then got to a tie, then had to win it. The first game against Rangers, started off us scoring a own goal, tied it, and then 10 minutes later another goal. This game, same thing. The last game we went out 2-0. And that was a game where we kind of just like started off pretty well, had highlights, but none of them necessarily felt.
Front. It's a brilliant pass with Dan Neil. Lovely flick around the corner. His right foot, Lauren Shanklin. He gets a hold of it. I think he's got to go back across the goalkeeper, Cal, albeit on his left side.
Alright, this should be good. Close. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Chat, I want one of these new ones. Nothing. Maybe they lied to me. I feel like it wouldn't be that. I feel like it has to be this, low-key. Because chat, think about it, right? Synergism. These two don't cause a reaction. These two don't cause a reaction. These three. This one is the only one that causes interaction. Or reactions with both of them, so I feel like it has to be this one. If it has to be this one, let's up the card multiplier so that we hopefully draw it. And, oh, your mom could be upgraded. Twice the shred gain, 3 times the point gain, and added 16 in base bulk. This one's gonna be increasing 21. And card multiplier, we're gonna be fucking drawing cards like crazy. I feel like this one. You know, don't need card multiplier is 15 now, chat. Holy. Second half. I don't know why they don't have a scoreboard, but
goes beyond this man and towards the box. He's been caught there. Gassama. Free kick is given. The yellow card is out.
Like, doesn't that dude look old as fuck? He's like 24.
Vital.
Shout out Vital.
Rangers with a free kick in a dangerous position. It's what Gassama can do and what the Rangers fans will hope that he does more often. This Neil's ball. It's into the area. Raskan again contesting the header. The Polish side able to clear their lines once more. Shackman across. Kota back. Makes a sliding challenge, but good work from Clinch. Finds Conseil Sa where he can switch. To Schmidt. Dangerous looking ball.
Linga. Oh, they're here.
Well. It's Clinch with the delivery. And Jagiellonia level. And
that was a beauty, bro. Our most expensive signing in fucking team history.
On aggregate. It is Nick
What a
Prelic with the
pass.
goal. And Rangers have it all to do once again.
I might be clutching Cal, but I thought he might be just to drift offside at the back post there. And just me got my Rangers hat on. It was slick.
He's balding, but it
leggy.
don't matter, bro. He got
Rangers
up
boys in the
too.
second half.
That's why we spend the money, bro. 500k for him, 850k for him. That's what? A 1.35 million.
Nadiri was in behind. Kobayashi.
$1.35 million play right there.
Oh wow.
Free kick is given in Jagiellonia's favour.
Wow.
Dragijevic wants a VAR check.
I just think he gets caught wrong side. Does the defender. Cal, that was my initial thought, and he does really well, Nadiri, just to use his body. I'm thinking red card. You can see the nudge, but I just think that's... You can see both have got holdy jerseys, which might go against Nadiri, but I just think he's stronger. He gets wrong side. Defender caught out of position.
Shout out Kobayashi, he is stronger.
Could it be Manny Fernandez to pop up with something as he goes further forward? Lovely looking delivery, the header wide.
Oh, he's got to score.
It's Bojan Mijovski.
It's a brilliant ball in, Cal. Just desperate for somebody to make the right contact. Just chops inside on his right foot, does Finn Curtis.
Just got to go in the area. Crowley. Shankland's up. Drops to Fernandez. Shankland tees it off.
Oh, I thought it was
Narrowly
in.
wide from Vanja Dragijevic.
Oh, I thought it was in, Cal. I expected the net to burst.
But yeah, you see a lot of that shit. A lot of them are saying Wi-Fi. They call this team like a Wi-Fi password. All that shit, right?
It's
Blah, 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 blah,
Mario's
blah, right?
house. And
Fucking the draw after the draw when the team was announced on UEFA's like official shit, man. Bro, calling us Hogwarts, calling us all this sort of like Wi-Fi passwords, right? Like magic spells, ignoring your vowels, stuck. Wi-Fi password. Yeah, right here, chat, right here. After we beat him, bro, calling us a Wi-Fi password and shit. Heard him scored the goal, right? He's just looking shit up, bro. He's just that. Oh, doesn't work. Oh, let's show it though. Well, let's try Rangers, bro. It must be Rangers. Nah. And then he enters our team name, bro. Hold up. This is cold. Ooh, congratulations, bro. Of course, bro. That's what we do. And then our next opponent, bro. FC Iberia 1999. That's who we're playing against, bro. You're like, I don't know what this team is. That's because they play in Georgia. I think they're a Georgian team. They have a dynamo. Like a lot of teams got dynamos, they're usually pretty good. 2026 season, they're already done. How does this fucking work? Right, I think the way that their shit is set up. For 2026 season, already 20 games played. Right? Apparently they go by Saburtalo? Yeah, okay, so they used to be known by that. They just haven't. Okay. Maybe they switched since 1999. Current transfer record, they're up 1 million. Which means they just sold, more than they brought on. Best player? That's their worst player. He's a 21-year-old that they just brought on an internal transfer. 21, they're just calling this guy up. Not worth shit. Most. They might make a cool 350,000. Best player is a player that they're loaning on from FC Colte, who's worth 1.5 million, and most of that is coming in from this. So the real best player is 500k, and then this team, how old is this team? This is their best player as well, but it looks like they have, yeah. So they gave him this guy, which is a 21-year-old. Okay. Suddenly I got even, like, my brother's like, you gotta chill. You know, you're underestimating them, but like it's 6 million only. Like obviously they can win, but like. Where's their goalkeeper in all this? Their goalkeeper is 36-year-old with 50k, which is like I guess pretty like he's experienced. Probably hurts his valuation, but at least he's like decent goalkeeper this season. You know, he can 2 goals, 2 clean sheets, 5 appearances, Europa League, 1 goal, 1 clean sheet. 7 in Champions League, no clean sheets, and a yellow card as a goalie. Okay, go off. Like I don't want to be too cocky, but like I want to feel cocky, and when I see a team this not very good, I just want to be cocky. But I understand that we might lose this, but like how? Like no way we lose this. I'm pretty confident that we'll win. And this is important because I don't think does the loser of Europa League playoffs go to conference league? Oh, that's fine. That's chill. So we're guaranteed to go into the conference league, which is like even cool. Like obviously, I don't think we are, but like that's better for that. So we're guaranteed to have at least 2 teams, right? Which is even better. Which means we're this is good. This is good for us. Like very happy about this. The 20th, so in a week. In a week time. And then we are. Okay. It's kind of weird. We got. I'm not gonna be able to watch this game unless they give me a break, but I don't think they'll give me a break at this time. So shouts out. I also probably won't be able to find a stream, but you know, this team, I think they're kind of. Where are they in the standings? They're 3rd, but I think we can pretty easily beat them. I think. Like, beating Rangers, we could beat any team here. Like, there's no reason why we shouldn't be first. Obviously, things happen, you know. Like, an outstanding goalie performance against us. Shots not really falling, but, like, we can beat any team here. It just matters, I think, about consistency. And, like, really giving it our all when, like, we know we don't need to. Because we're not going to be qualifying through, like, Europa League, right? Because, like... Yeah, so we gotta win this one, and then that's like a nice little cherry on top. Because the fact that we play them on Saturday, and then we'll have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 4 days rest, play against this side, and then a whole nother week, and then play against them. That's good. That's like also just good. That compared to them, they play similarly on the 15th, then play us on the 20th, so in 4 days time, right? Because after the 15th would be 16, 17, 18, 19, and then on that 20th, so they'll get 4 days rest. Then on first, second, and then third, they'll play Dynamo Tbilisi, one of the best teams in their league. I don't know how that's gonna work, because they already postponed. I don't know how often they can postpone these games. They're gonna probably have to postpone this one. Which is gonna be a headache for them, because like right now, 6th, they're playing against 6th, then they're playing against the Europa League final playoff round, and then they're playing against the 2nd in the league, could be first on it, right? And then after that, they're playing against us again, a team that just beat Rangers and ours, and they can make a push. Let me see. Wait, what did I want to check? So that happens. I don't have to win to do this. Oh yeah. How to qualify for Europe based on performance in Champions League, Europa League, and Conference League. Winning you of a club competition or boosting your nation's youth through coefficient performance spots directly alters qualifications. Champions League winner automatically qualifies for the next year's Champions League phase, regardless of domestic league positions that they almost always qualify via the domestic route anyway, right? Like, if you win the Champions League, you're probably going to be within that, like, oh my god, there's a fucking skunk right there. Oh, that motherfucker has been terrorizing me for ages, bro. That dude's my biggest. You don't know how many times, chat, I'm fucking chilling with my window open, getting some nice fucking fresh air, and this dude fucking runs up on me. And sprays some shit, bro. I like walking around at night. There's like a pond, and like obviously I'm very scared of wildlife. The most, like, I don't even like. You ever so scared of some shit like it just doesn't cross your mind? Because you would like be like debilitized if you like thought of that shit. Like walking and taking like when I'm depressed and fucked up, and I'm just like walking around to like clear my head and shit, and I run into a skunk, bro. I'm like, bro, I don't think you'll see me, bro. Right, like that shit's not. Okay, so the Champions League winner automatically qualifies for the next Champions League phase, but if you're the Champions League winner, you're like guaranteed top 3 team in the world that season. Like, you know, I don't want to say best because like, you can argue like, oh, you know, what if someone got injured, something like this happened, right? So you'd obviously probably make it, but then that just trickles down the league spot. Europa League winner automatically qualifies for the next season's Champions League phase, which is, you know, a similar thing like that. Conference League winner automatically qualifies for the next season's Europa League. And then in European performance spots, the 2 top performing associations from the previous single European season earn an extra Champions League place for the next best ranked club in the domestic league that didn't already qualify. Vacate if European title holder qualifies for the Champions or Europa League or the domestically finished the original vacated slot in the specific tournament shifts to another team based on predefined access. I'm seeing this motherfucker again, bro. On Gotcha is my fucking biggest fucking off. Coefficient balancing. If extra Champions League spots are awarded to a country via performance or title hurdles, it can occasionally squeeze or shift lower qualification slots, such as dropping a second tier Europa League spot to a conference. Let's say England already has their, I think it's 2-1-2, right? Everyone's 2-1-2 at first. Right, I remember watching the video, but I forget. Premier League standings. Not why 2023. Or not, it's this. Champions, these four get champions. How many European spots do each league get? So these guys get 4-2-1 and then rank. That's strange. Really? You're doing France like that? 3 champions, 2 Europa, and then 1. That's just a weird one. And then 6 also gets 3-2 and 1. I mean, clearly France, one of these spots are like qualification spots. This is the rank that we're on, and we're not going to surpass, I don't think we can this season, but maybe in like a season or 2, we could get into this rank 6 spot. Gosh. Two Champions League spots, 1 or 2 Europa League spots, and 1 or 2 Conference League stat. I think it depends, but I think it's usually 2-1-2, right? Four and 2 Conference League, right? And I'm sure right now it's like right, so it's 4. Let's go back to Premier League standings. Right. If this happens, right? These 4 teams make it, but let's say this team makes it to the Champions League because they just won it, although PSG won it, so it wouldn't really work out. It would go down 1 because they made it, because they won the Champions League. Let's say Arsenal won Europa League, then it would go down another 1. So now this 7th place team is Europa League finish, but then also let's say, I think I read somewhere that potentially 9 different teams could win it, could place it. Which, like, if you have a team that's like, or if this league has 9 Champions League spots, like, why are you giving 10th place Europa League? They might change that to like, right, you have to play in Conference League. As I think like a way to like balance it out. Can the Premier League get 9 Champions League spots? No, the Premier has a maximum number of Champions League spots. 5 center point place additional holders, having the ISO maximum at 7 under extreme highly theoretical title holder overlaps with multiple holders finish outside domestic qualification spots, normally capped at 6. Well, the Premier League can have a total of 9 teams overall playing at all competitions combined. So I guess 9 teams total. Okay. Which would make sense. So if a bunch of teams Yeah, and this is it, right? They got Arsenal, Man City, Man United, Aston Villa, and Liverpool all playing Champions League. It was a possibility that it could have been more. It could have been like 6 Champions League spots, right? And just like one of these teams had. Yeah, potential of astounding 11. But yeah, chat, always. They got that, and they got Bournemouth, Sunderland, Crystal Palace, and then Brighton, bro. So they're one of them ones, and it's just easier. Because, like, if all the teams are winning, which I doubt, like, Bournemouth, Sunderland, and fucking Brighton are really winning that much, and, like, they're just getting more points, which then, like, helps them keep that shit. But yeah, I was gonna say why, like, single it out, like, Italy's gonna fall off a little bit. Spain's gonna probably do a little bit better. They have their 2 worst years coming up. England are pretty bad. Like, I mean, like just compared to what they used to, what happened this year. So just worlds between this. It's like the zip thing I was telling you guys about. Where it's like this happens, and then like it's like this here, and this is here, and then this is like here. This is like here, and then like keeps going down. The only thing that doesn't really follow it is like this one. Belgium is kind of an outlier. That just means some of this, right? View full rankings. Their next year is a lot worse than ours. Or not a lot worse, but it was worse than ours. Same with Greece. Greece did horribly last 5 years. So if they do, they might be able to jump a little bit. But in terms of like 2 years, our last 2 years were kind of on par with like Switzerland's, Hungary's. Like, I don't know. If we keep winning, we can definitely. Right. Or guaranteed league phase spots. I'm hoping for where's the rules? And I have to scroll all the way down for the rules. San Marino 55th. Come on, guys. 1833. You guys got this. You guys got this. Wales also is kind of, right? I'm open for some of these, bro. Gotta get top 24. Which, chat, if I'm being honest, if our 2 Europa League teams lose the playoff and get into the UEFA Conference League, I think we're guaranteed to get like a bonus point or 2. This, right, we might be lower here, so we might not get as much bonus points. But I want to see a Europa League run, bro, because the Conference League runs were cool, but like, if we were gonna etch a name for ourselves, we gotta start with the bigger leagues. Like, I think we're the only league that really took advantage of the Conference League just based off our jump. And like we used to be like here. Conference League introduced, we kind of took the jump here. We're used to Europe. I know Europa League is a different competition, but it seems like we're shedding it off pretty easily with like the win against Rangers. Chat, it's not bad. It's not bad, chat. We have 7 million cards, so I'm hoping the pack synergism, bro. We're at 6. Are we gonna get the last one? No. Damn near 100% card multiplier, bro. So like chat, bro. Things are looking up, bro. And like, it sucks because last week the first leg, I mean like, we won, so that was chill. But and Lech won, but Górnik lost. GKS lost. And what was their last team? Kraków drew, which they beat Hammarby. Zlatan's the owner. They beat Hammarby. Good on them. But now, one win, we drew unfortunately. Another win. GKS won, we won. Górnik drew, or we drew. Górnik drew. And GKS won. Kraków won. So it's up to Lech to really do that. But if we do win this, we're not gonna jump up. I think if we win, we get what, 0.2. I don't know why it says 3. We should have like what? First of all, like the Champions League, everything at hard season, strong campaigns by like was on like Warsaw, you're going to that. Milestones. Reached European Community Cup 96 and the regular Rock as they were some modern season. Did not know they fucking made it. They reached the finals, the shout out. Actually, because the Bloom Push League thriving in the Conference League, the UEFA Conference League is more clubs, more opportunities to be on the European stage, nor more so than in Poland, who seems to want something to help boost their social and club coefficient ranking. One of the biggest beneficiaries of the UEFA Conference League since it was introduced very early, 21, 22. Seems undoubtedly Poland. We took advantage of that shit quick. We saw it as like, yo, they're scoring this shit the same as if it was fucking Champions League, but scoring that shit. So they made our league. So what really helped is like our team is our league is very competitive. Like anyone can win it. So it's like you're used to really like fighting for that shit. So when they're saying that, it's like okay, they're all basically teams in our league, and it's good practice because then you're still gonna see those like top leagues like matches against Fiorentina, Chelsea, Villarreal, Rangers. Right? You're still seeing those really good opponents. So you're kind of like easing your way into European play, but then you're also playing against a bunch of like shitter teams, right? Teams that are like ranked a good amount below you, and then it's not even like right, like they're the 4th best team in their league, and their league is like in the 30s, right? Like you still get to play some easy games. Black Poznan blazed a trail by reaching the quarterfinals in 22-23. So like literally the next season. He got to the quarterfinals before 2 Polish extra teams like event, and she's the feast last season, the ladders. Afamiko Pulu ended the season as the competition's leading goal scorer, first in any UEFA club for a player representing Welsh club. Right, like, I'm telling y'all, chat, bro, like, we took advantage of that shit. This season, 4 Polish sides competed in the league phase. Pulu sealed progress with the game spare, while yet winning upon further respective qualification for the knockout phase playoffs on match day 6. I think we're the only Polish side eliminated after the league phase, falling just 1 point short of advancing, which sucks. Imagine they won. Our ranking would have been better, just better. Collective growth reward for progressing with the club probably should go beyond the dream of silverware and the prize money and offer. And an added benefit is improving clubs associated club coefficient, which could result in additional UEFA Champions League spot for next season, which we have. We have now 2 Champions League spots, the Europa League spot, and then the Conference League spots, 2-1-2, or something like that. We'll currently lead the 25-26 Men's Association Club coefficient ranking, which gives them a great chance of securing one of the 2 European performance spots. They are allocated to the 2 associations with the best collective performance by the clubs at the end of the season. Each association will receive 1 automatic place in the league phase of the 26-27 UEFA Champions League for the club ranked next best in the domestic league. Mind any clubs that have already directly qualified for the league phase. So I think what we'll do is if we got the spot, the number 1 team would get league qualification, and the next 2 would get qualifiers, and then it would proceed as normal. In chat, I like what they said about potentially getting that European performance EPS. What's the last word? European spot, but that shit just won't happen, based on the fact that England is always going to make a deep run, and then France and Germany and Portugal, like these teams. I think Portugal, they're not always going to make a deep run, but they're going to have like all their teams go into like the quarterfinals or something. France is going to have a deep run with PSG, right? Like, so getting that EPS is a lot like easier said than done, but like we're playing really good footy right now. Right now, Latvia is doing really well. Azerbaijan, Croatia, Finland, Switzerland, Bulgaria, Denmark, Israel, Liechtenstein, Estonia, Hungary, Belarus. We're not that good, actually. You have to scroll a bit. But obviously this has to do with that it's still being qualifications. Like, I'm sure Azerbaijan has been, has left that, like, right, has disqualified. Same with, like, Liechtenstein. Right, they're having a pretty good season compared to recently. Estonia, same. Hungary, like, Belarus, like, well, Belarus is kind of slowly climbing. Like a lot of these teams, they're drawing games. They're like winning here and there in this qualification place, but like by the playoff times, they're gonna be out. We're still gonna be in, and we can still eat. Ideally, we win all 4 of our playoff spots. GKS S lost against fucking Israel. Against Tel Aviv. At least they lost on aggregate, at least 1 today. Shout out Bodo Glimt. I really want Bodo Glimt to win. Although if this happens, they're just in Europa League, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But no, that does matter, because then they won't get the free 6 bonus points. So I'm really hoping for Bodo Glimt, and it's crazy that Bodo Glimt Elite Serie. Norway. How was Norway doing? Bodo Glimt made that crazy fucking jump, or I guess it's because they have a good amount of teams in play. Poland, it's not actually that bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're 10th. our like worst season, we're 10, 11. Okay, so we're 11th from that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We're 11 and 15th. So an 11th spot finish and then a 15th spot finish. And then we're going to keep our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11th. So we're placing on the 11th spot. Instead we have an 11th spot. And then this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got technically 11th, 15th, 11th, and like 6th or 7th. 7th. So ultimately this won't do much except for the fact that how does this drop? Like 15, 12, then it goes down to 11, 11, 11, 10. Okay. How do these drop? 12, 11, yeah, they drop a lot faster here. Same with here. So it's a lot more top heavy those seasons, I guess. Which is kind of good because that means it's kind of like an even leveling out sort of happening, but we really just gotta win, chat. We really just gotta win, and I think we can. This is technically, I know it's just started. These teams are gonna fizzle out. A lot of these teams aren't like only one, which is like a blessing and a curse because if you have only one team remaining, if they win, it's like a full point, and then another full point, another full point, and we're getting we're kind of getting like held back for having multiple teams in it, but that's fine. We'll catch up. Hopefully Lech doesn't shit the bed in Europe this year. Hopefully Rakuf, with this game against Hammarby, they're kind of getting back in the swing of things. They can make a deep run. After what I saw from my team this qualifying round, I'm sure we can make a deep run. And then what's the last team? Górnik. Hopefully they can bounce back in Europe because, dude, they made it to the Champions League finals in like the 80s. Like, you guys aren't as bad as you think you guys are. Oh, your mom's work. Give me synergy. Yeah, Bodo Glimt got us our best guy. Aw, damn, they're down. I'm glad we got to look at it before it went down, Chad. Or maybe, never mind. 3-time Norwegian Cup winners, 4 times Norwegian champions. They're good, man, they're good. This is a team. This is what I wanted my Jags to be, bro. They just needed one good run. And now teams, you look at Bodo Glimt and you're like, hey, they had that run. They had that run. Never take that away from them. However, what did I do? What did I want to look up? I wanted to see FC Porto, which I don't think they played in a while. It's nothing official. Let's check. Yeah, Sunday, August 9th, which isn't that far away. First against Alverca, the now 18th. 2 penalties not scored by Pietuszewski. Was he playing though? Doesn't look like it. Didn't even get subbed on. Was he even on the bench? Yo, what the fuck? Yo, like, no, like, actually, what the fuck? Bro, They already replaced it with all FC Porto, bro. Still on that Jag kit right there. 3 goals, 2 matches last season. Market value of about 25. He was injured, that makes sense. On the bench, not squad, not squad. All the Nigeria, you played for a minute? Did not. Okay. Actually, I think I remember that. Ukraine, I don't remember that. 6.7, 6.5, 6.8, 8.0, 7.1, 7.2, 7.5 against Albania, shout out. 8.1 here, 8.0 here. Played well against Benfica. Sporting could have been better. They're playing against them coming up. Hopefully he can play. Hopefully he's back. Just looking at this. Easy Alkmaar. Oh, I remember this. This is the team. He lost to this, then true to them. And then I guess he got sold before we played more. We didn't get a chance to. Yeah, I remember now. He was here. This team just had our number, bro. Loss against here. But what is this? These are assists, right? Oh, yellow cards. Sneaks. And it starts with goals and then assists. Okay. Assist against here. Goal against Benfica, actually. So shouts out. Goal against Polygon. Again, Dija didn't play well. Played really well here, although it was a loss. Loss against Górnik. Drew against Strasbourg. Just, hey, shouts out, right? Like, that's a good. Strasbourg's good, bro. That's a good little result for me. Good. And it sucks we don't see these like ratings. I want to see how well Bartosz played. He's a guy that he started this game against Paphos. They went down early 2-0, ended up winning 3-2, 4-3. I forget. 7.3 in August. Oh, 3-3, but then they won 4-3 on aggregate. He played, didn't get really his goal or an assist. This guy track, got that. I mean, he played well enough to be kept on the pitch, which is good, just getting that. But oh, I think I know why. But nonetheless, hopefully, I haven't seen it what he's done. Hopefully, Hopefully it was good enough to be given more minutes, because he was subbed on last game as well. Of course, there's just qualifiers, so I doubt they're put in their best players on the sport. Boom, boom. Do this as well. .4. Let's see how many your moms we get. Ultra bright papers, we get 2 and then 5 of those. We won't be getting another one. I swear Synergism has to be light. I don't care what they say. Alright, we got like 2 more draws, I think I'm sure.
It's about to get less disgusting.
You know how shocking Luka getting traded was in basketball terms? Well, in NBA business terms, this is... just as well. The Lakers getting flipped like they're a house on HGTV. So the Lakers are being sold to American businessman Josh Kushner and Bob Iger for a record-breaking price over $12 billion. Per Ramona Shelburne, she says it's $12.5 billion to be exact. But everyone wants to know why. The obvious answer is, oh, Mark Walter just bought him for $10 billion, sold for $12.5, so he makes a cool $2.5 billion in under 9 months. But these guys don't buy sports teams to make money. They buy them because they love sports, and there's only one LA Lakers.
Cap.
This Walter guy also owns the Dodgers and Chelsea FC in the Premier League. He's obsessed with sports. You know what this is like. So why? Well, it turned...
You haven't
I really
seen
don't
the
think so,
sun in
Chad.
days.
A lot of the guys,
So at
these
this
teams
point,
are
it'll
just.
be easier to
Turns out there are potentially 2 scandalous reasons behind this news. And one of them is an investigation that very few NBA fans even know about. Like, people are so focused on the Kawhi investigation with the Clippers, but there's something a lot more serious going on with the Lakers that just flew under the radar. Now, I want to get to the other potential reason, but obviously we have to explain this investigation, right? So in late July, just a few weeks ago, a report said that Mark Walter is being investigated by the US government. The issue might be how Walter purchased the Lakers to begin with. So one thing this guy runs are insurance companies. And back in 2012, he borrowed from them to buy the Dodgers for just over $2 billion. Think of it as like owning your own bank where a bunch of people keep their savings, right? And Walter wanted to buy an expensive toy, but instead of using his own money, he walks into his own bank and lends himself his customer savings. So Walter is on both sides of the deal. He decides how much interest to charge. He decides when it's going to be paid back, and he decides what happens if he doesn't pay it back. Not ideal, but regulators actually approved this back in 2012. Walter actually disclosed all of it to the government, and they said, fine, go ahead. So he bought the Dodgers. Great. But then somebody recently noticed $21 billion in similar loans that were not disclosed. That's $21 billion that went to Walter or a company that he owns. So what did he do with that cash? Did he use that to buy the Lakers or Chelsea? We don't know. That's what investigators happen to be looking at. And then he just so happens to sell the team weeks after the investigation is reported. Sure, I guess it could be unrelated, but that's quite the coincidence. The average length of NBA ownership is 7 years. Walter owns them for about 9 months. And yes, $2.5 billion is a lot of money, but this is the Lakers. You don't dump them for just $2.5 billion when you're a gajillionaire. By the way, Walter was completely redoing how the Lakers did business. He was installing a ton of new front office staff and reworking them in the Dodgers' vision to win championships. And he gives up all that work just because someone offered him more money. Some people might disagree with me that that's not shady at all, but at the very least it feels off. But what about these new owners? So Josh Kushner and Bob Iger were trying to buy the expansion team in Las Vegas, but so are a lot of other ownership groups, and the price tag was getting crazy, like probably close to $10 billion. So they're like, look, we live in Los Angeles. Ramona Shelburne says they figured, why don't we just, we're going to pay $10 billion for a new franchise in Vegas, why don't we call up Mark Walter, see what we can do? So they did just that. They called him on Sunday, 3 days ago, and he immediately was like, oh yeah, I don't even really need to think about it that much. I'm definitely selling. What? Okay, so they've got new owners. But if you're not from the US, be prepared for some legit political backlash to this sale, okay? Don't even go on Twitter or X right now, please. If you don't know the name Kushner, okay, he's the brother of Jared Kushner, who's a member of the Trump family and has all sorts of shady business dealings. Bob Iger used to run Disney for a long time, so the whole Mickey Mouse ring thing is not going away anytime soon. But my point is that Laker fans loved Mark Walter, that he bought the team from the Bus family because he was a proven group that knew how to win with the reinvented Dodgers, on their way to doing the same thing
Yes.
in terms of reinvention with the Lakers. But these new guys, not some great sports track record, and if they don't win, the political
Synergy
ties
has to be
thing will be
yellow as
annoying
well.
as hell. But the second scandalous reason, and I think
Right.
this is way worse for Laker fans, actually. And we are in conspiracy land, I acknowledge that, but this actually makes a lot of sense. What if Walter Real went
Chat, how many
and
cards
got
do
the
we have
MLB
left?
version of Sam Presti? He was a guy named
None of
Andrew
these. We
Friedman.
have 2
They went and
cards
poached him
left.
from a small market, okay? Then he built out.
If we check by this, overwears, we have all of these. We don't have the sleeping game, but supposedly, sleeping game, right? Like, doesn't tell us anything here, but supposedly the sleeping game is that, but it's before waterproof cards and after Ashta cards. The Ashta cards is the card multiplier one. So the way this is set up, the sleeping game, I feel like it has to be water. Synergism comes after ultra bright papers, right? After ultra bright papers, so it has to be, I think, this one. Get that up to 70, so we'll have it, but I think it has to be. I think it has to be this one, and then I think the last one is this water faction card. So we only have 2 cards left, chat.
Out the front office, and then Walter spit like crazy on top of that with no salary cap. But in basketball, Walter can't go get Sam Presti because he's married to OKC. And yes, they can build out the front office, but you can't buy elite players. Walter looks down the street at Steve Ballmer, who's the richest owner in American sports, and his money means practically nothing. Getting him in trouble, actually. In fact, they're like, oh, there's a salary cap on players, but not on front office. You don't think Steve Ballmer's already tried that? What are the Clippers going to a bunch of finals? No. Money doesn't mean as much in the second apron era. So they push LeBron James out of town, have their big offseason acquiring Walker Kessler, paying Austin Reeves, and then Walter asks his baseball people, do you think that we have a realistic chance of winning a title? And I say baseball people because Walter brought in all the baseball guys like Andrew Friedman into the Lakers front office to help them kind of reshape and revision things. So they're intimately involved. And those guys went to Walter and said, realistically, no, we're going to suck. The Thunder and Spurs have built young, talented teams that are going to own this league for the next 5 to 7 years. We have Luka, but we're out of assets with no real way to improve. In fact, Mark, our Dodgers playbook cannot work with the Lakers. We've realized that because NBA rules are so much different. We are
Chat, let's look up this car. Yeah, that's that right. 2WRX. A Subaru? Really? That's fine. Yeah, I hope it's raining.
screwed. Then the phone rings, and it's Josh Kushner and Bob Iger offering $12.5 billion. And Mark Walter was like, perfect timing. Let's get out of here. Let's go focus on the Dodgers winning championships. That might be what happened as well. Actually, if I were a Laker fan, I would really hope that's not what happened, but it makes sense. But one thing that we do know for sure is the Lakers have shockingly been sold for a second time in under 9 months. But this time, their fans don't feel quite as excited. Something feels a little off, and it's probably not a good thing. But speaking of that second theory about how, the Lakers just might not be very good going forward, and the ownership sees that. This ownership, they are all about winning championships. Like, They are going all out with the Dodgers. If you're not paying attention to baseball, ever since they bought them in 2012, they've been like, you know, pulling out all the stops. They don't care who they piss off along the way. They don't care about what rules they potentially like bend or break to make it happen. They're just going to make it happen. And it just, that doesn't apply in the new CBA. The new CBA in the second apron has neutered the ability for like the super ambitious owner to do, you know, pull out all the stops and to win a championship. You know, it just doesn't work that way anymore. The way it works is you have to get a super duper smart front office and potentially get some of your players, your star players, to take pay cuts, okay? It's just not working. They couldn't even get Austin Reeves to take more than a $5 million pay cut, dude. Austin Reeves. And they didn't really have much of a choice. They had to pay him, or else he was going to walk, and you can't replace what Austin Reeves gives you with nothing. So, you know, it's like, gosh, and we can't go poach Sam Presti the way we did Andrew Friedman. We can't. Sam Presti's not going to leave. And Presti
Chat,
and
that's
the
back to
Spurs
back.
have built, you know, that
Type in
7'5"
chat.
kid in San Antonio is
Let's
going
do
to own the league for a long
baseball
time as long as he can stay healthy. They might have thought this just isn't what we thought it was going to be, and we can't force our will and our smarts and our money as an ownership group to make it happen. You just can't do it in the NBA. It won't let you. And so they may have just pulled the plug, I guess. And so, you know, it's just not a great look for the Lakers because, you know, if you need, all you need is a really smart front office and get lucky in the draft, that kind of thing, and hope that you draft that superstar, get the stars to take pay cuts. If those are the advantages, then the things that traditionally made the Lakers, gave the Lakers a big advantage, those things don't exist anymore. And that's not good, because they've depended on that for a long, long time. How do you think they got Kareem to make Showtime work?
So now we have
Kareem
to do
was like, yo, I want to be a Laker,
That's like
and he
what
went
would
there.
make sense.
How do you
Waterproof
think
cards is below.
the Kobe, the
And
first
home
Kobe,
run
the
tree
Kobe
formula, these are
three-peat
that.
is
For
because
the sleeping
Shaq
game,
said, I want to
waterproof
be a
cards are
Laker.
okay.
And the Orlando Magic bungled
it's a
his free
super rare.
agency, but in the end, they offered him about the same amount of money. But Shaq was like, no, I'm good. I want to go to LA. Well, that, you know, that mystique in getting stars like that, you know, that's just not what works in the NBA anymore. And they've got Luka, but, you know, Luka is not a cheat code. He's going to keep them relevant, but the path to multiple championships is not as clear. So, anyway, we'll see what happens. But I'm getting a lot of hate for this Wizards video here. All of their fans believe that they're going to compete for the playoffs, maybe even win a playoff series, go to the second round. But I lay out where actually their front office is planning on doing the exact opposite, and those fans are going to get a rude awakening. I'm getting a lot of heat for this video.
There has to be one more. It has to be water, right? Because we're missing only one.
Granger
Every
knows that as
single
an
one of
HVAC
these
technician,
has
the heat is
multiple
on you
barriers
every day.
that we
Your
have so
first
far
call,
except water.
an
But
office
it would make
building
sense.
with a noisy
It would make
AC
sense.
unit.
Like, what an additional.
Time to put your experience to work. On site, your meters don't lie. The blower motor.
Ladies and gentlemen, 38-0. We're doing a one-off league. Most points wins. And ratings, prime, difficulty, normal. Ratings on all eras, players.
Champions League is back, baby. That means Bodo Glimt is back because they almost got knocked out. They almost got their asses knocked out. I don't know what happened here. Also, sorry, I should have given you a warning. My headphones are out of charge, so I am charging them while I record this. I figured I didn't need to listen to anything anyways, but I am raw dogging this ears to the wind. So hopefully that wasn't too much of a jump scare. This is what full head shape looks like, earphone and dent included. They have a European trophy from the last, couple of years ago in the Conference League, right? This is a team that expects to be in the 2-1 after the opening leg against Sparta Prague. So this was a really spicy trouble, right? Going into that final matchup, they will be an underdog. But the fact that they've been able to put themselves just one tie.
Why is an unknown MLS player worth $23 million while Eric Lira is still waiting for a move to a top European league? And no, it's not because he's the better player. There's actually 3 reasons behind this, but the last one explains why the MLS has overtaken Liga MX in the eyes of European clubs. But before we continue, make sure to follow this NextMex account because our previous one had some issues. First, the passport. Lucas Harrington is Australian, but he also holds a German passport. That means in many European leagues, he doesn't count as a non-EU player, making him much easier to sign. Second is age and physical profile. Harrington played at the World Cup at just 18 years old. Clubs aren't just buying the player he is today, they're buying what he could become. Eric Lira, on the other hand, is already 26 years old, which means that there's less resale value. And then there's size. Harrington stands at 6'4", the same height as Erling Haaland. In modern football, that athletic profile is incredibly valuable. But here's the biggest reason: MLS has built trust with Europe. While Mexican players carry more risk before they even arrive. That is the real difference. Can Liga MX rebuild that trust, or has MLS already won this race? Let us know down below in the comments.
Why are goalkeepers so cheap compared to other positions in football? Let's find out. James Trafford is set to become the 4th most expensive keeper in history, but the price of a keeper continues to lag behind the fees spent on defenders, midfielders and forwards. So why is this? Well, many scouts find that the position is more difficult to analyse than outfield ones. And, as Ian Graham explains, while there are obvious metrics you can use to evaluate attackers, which have a clear and measurable value, for goalkeepers, the data is often less reliable. And so reports can end up feeling more simplistic. The market for goalkeepers is also unique. On one hand, there's a supply problem. As one source says, when Gianluigi Donnarumma became available last summer, it was an outlier to the norm, as they estimate that there are fewer than 10 top goalkeepers around right now. But that is offset by the lack of demand in the position too, largely because teams do not usually spend heavily on reserve keepers, as it can actually be counterintuitive to have strong depth in goal, because it can undermine the starting goalkeeper's confidence while the backup barely plays, which is likely why Trafford's time at Man City is ending earlier than expected. Read this piece for the full breakdown. Why are goalkeepers so cheap compared to other positions in football? Let's find out.
Makes
James
sense,
Trafford
but
is
it's
set
also
to
not a
become
good
the
sign
4th
that our
most expensive
most
keeper in
highest
history.
rated player is a goalie.
Imagine a yacht designed to make you feel at home. Light-filled, open-air spaces connect you to the seas and shores you explore. The Ritz-Carlton Yacht Collection, unlike the rest.
Jeszcze kilka lat temu polska ekstraklasa była ligą, z której łatwiej było się śmiać niż traktować ją poważnie. Dziś polskie stadiony pękają w szwach, kluby biją rekordy przychodów, zatrudniają coraz droższych piłkarzy i okazuje się, że liga, którą przez lata traktowaliśmy jak piłkarski mem, stała się niezwykle modna. Możemy spierać się, na jakim poziomie względem piłki europejskiej znajduje się polska ekstraklasa, ale niezaprzeczalnym faktem jest wzrost zainteresowania rodzimą ligą, który choćby liczbowo stał się już mocno mierzalnym procesem. A jak to się stało? W tym odcinku dokładnie wyjaśnimy Wam, dlaczego Polacy na nowo pokochali ekstraklasę i co tak naprawdę stoi za tym, że przeżywa ona być może najlepszy moment w całej swojej historii. Przekroczenie barier, które jeszcze dekadę temu uznawano za nieosiągalne, jest rezultatem sprawnego połączenia kilku kluczowych obszarów: infrastruktury stadionowej, lukratywnych kontraktów telewizyjnych, coraz bardziej dojrzałych strategii marketingowych, stabilnych klubowych finansów, czy wreszcie reformy systemu szkolenia i polityki transferowej. W sezonie 25-26 doszło bowiem do przełomu frekwencyjnego. Mecze najwyższej klasy rozgrywkowej w Polsce obejrzało z trybun łącznie ponad 4 miliony widzów i barierę tę przekroczono po raz pierwszy w historii. W porównaniu z sezonem 24-25 odnotowano wzrost frekwencji o ponad 7%, a średnia liczba widzów na jednym spotkaniu w skali całego sezonu wzrosła do poziomu około 13,5 tysiąca. Wzrost ten był szczególnie widoczny w decydującej fazie ubiegłego sezonu, bo tylko w trakcie 34. kolejki na trybunach pojawiło się blisko 180 tysięcy fanów, co dało średnią bliską 20 tysięcy widzów na jedno spotkanie i był to rekord wszechczasów dla pojedynczej serii serii gier, poprawiający poprzedni wynik osiągnięty w 27. kolejce sezonu 24-25. Co więcej, na każdym z 9 obiektów ogłoszono wówczas komplet wyprzedanych biletów. Liderem tego zestawienia frekwencyjnego został Lech Poznań ze średnią ponad 31 tysięcy widzów na mecz, stając się pierwszym klubem w historii Ekstraklasy, który przekroczył barierę średniej 30 tysięcy kibiców w jednym sezonie. Drugi był Górnik Zabrze ze średnią niespełna 24 tysięcy widzów, a trzecia Legia Warszawa, której średnio każde spotkanie domowe oglądało z trybun 23,5 tysiąca fanów. Co ciekawe, Widzew Łódź nieustannie wyprzedaje pełną pulę karnetów sezonowych, osiągając pułap rzędu od 15 do 16 tysięcy sztuk, a nawet obiekty o kameralnej pojemności jak stadion Brukbetu Termaliki Nieciecza zanotowały w tamtym okresie najwyższe wyniki w swojej historii. Można więc powiedzieć, że polskie stadiony, w tym te wybudowane na Euro 2012, ale i w latach późniejszych, wreszcie osiągnęły pełną dojrzałość operacyjną. Mecze polskiej ligi nie są już subkulturowym wydarzeniem zamkniętym, a stały się atrakcyjną formą spędzania wolnego czasu dla rodzin, młodzieży i sektora biznesowego, a klubowe działy marketingu, ticketingu czy komunikacji sprawnie zagospodarowały strefy buforowe, rozwinęły ofertę gastronomiczną i wdrożyły elastyczne systemy zarządzania cenami, a wszystko to trwale podniosło wskaźnik wypełnienia trybun. Tyle, że oczywiście głównym motorem napędowym stabilizacji finansowej oraz rozwoju sportowego ligi wciąż pozostaje rekordowa umowa z nadawcą telewizyjnym, bo 4-letni kontrakt między Ekstraklasą SA i Kanal Plus Polska opiewa na łączną kwotę blisko 1,3 miliarda złotych. Oznacza to średnie roczne wpływy na poziomie około 325 milionów złotych, wliczając w to koszty produkcji sygnału telewizyjnego realizowane przez spółkę zależną Ekstraklasa Live Park na poziomie około 40 milionów złotych rocznie. Składową tego układu jest obowiązek sublicencyjny na rzecz telewizji otwartej, czyli TVP, gwarantujący transmisję jednego meczu w każdej kolejce na bezpłatnym kanale. Cały ten system dystrybucji środków generowanych przez ligową spółkę opiera się na zbalansowanym algorytmie, w którym około 44% całej puli jest dzielone porówno między wszystkie 18 klubów. Wynik sportowy w danym sezonie odpowiada za około 28,5% środków, z kolei ranking historyczny obejmujący osiągnięcia z ostatnich 5 lat konsumuje około 20% tej puli. Pozostałe środki kierowane są na szkolenie młodzieży w ramach programów ligowych oraz wypłaty solidarnościowe od UEFA dla klubów niegrających w pucharach. Ten stały dopływ gotówki z praw medialnych przełożył się bezpośrednio na rekordowe przychody klubów, które po raz pierwszy w historii przekroczyły próg blisko 1,2 miliarda złotych, dzięki czemu mogły odejść od modelu krótkoterminowego przetrwania na rzecz budowania wieloletniej strategii. To zabezpieczenie finansowe umożliwiło oferowanie długoterminowych kontraktów czołowym zawodnikom, rozbudowę sztabów analityczno-szkoleniowych czy finansowanie nowoczesnych baz treningowych. Dzięki temu Ekstraklasa nie jest już tylko rynkiem opierającym się niemal wyłącznie na zawodnikach bez kontraktów, bo kluby z Nadwisły też zaczęły odważnie inwestować w transfery gotówkowe, wyciągając piłkarzy z innych lig bądź dokonując wartościowych transakcji wewnątrz ligi. Dla podniesienia jakości widowiska sportowego kluczowe stało się pozyskiwanie piłkarzy o uznanej marce lub wysokim potencjale sprzedażowym, jak choćby gotówkowe transfery Luisa Palmy za 4 miliony euro czy Terego Jegbe za 3 miliony euro. Rosnący prestiż ligi pozwolił też na zakontraktowanie uznanych nazwisk ze świata piłki i warto w tym miejscu wspomnieć choćby o 2 mistrzach świata, gdzie stery w Górniku po zakończeniu piłkarskiej kariery przejął Lukas Podolski, a drugi sezon w Pogoni Szczecin rozgrywa Benjamin Mendy. To wszystko w sposób bezpośredni przekłada się na liczby i atrakcyjność widowiska. W sezonie 25-26 w 306 spotkaniach strzelono 837 bramek, co daje średnią 2,74 gola na mecz. Wyrównał się również poziom, bo Lech Poznań sięgnął po mistrzostwo ze średnią 1,77 punktów. Od sezonu 25-26 dotychczasowy Pro Junior system wprowadzający sztywny obowiązek gry młodzieżowca został zastąpiony przez program Młodzieżowiec 2.0. Ten nowy mechanizm dysponuje roczną pulą nagród w wysokości minimum 28 milionów złotych, a jego konstrukcja zniosła dawne progi i nagradza kluby nie tylko za minuty rozegrane na boiskach ligowych, ale również za występy wychowanków w pierwszej reprezentacji Polski, w kadrze U21, rozgrywkach Pucharu Polski czy w europejskich pucharach. Wprowadzono też specjalne mnożniki dla wychowanków o długim stażu w strukturach klubu, a pieniądze dzielone są proporcjonalnie do zdobytych punktów między wszystkie kluby, co pozwoliło wyeliminować sytuacje, w których których zespoły stawiające na młodzież wyprzedzały rywali, ale nie otrzymywały gratyfikacji z powodu zajęcia miejsca w dole tabeli. Efekt tej modyfikacji jest płynniejsza integracja utalentowanych graczy z piłką seniorską oraz przyspieszona wycena rynkowa młodych Polaków, czego potwierdzeniem są transfery takie jak 17-letniego Oskara Pietuszewskiego z Jagiellonii do FC Porto, czy coraz większa rola 19-letniego Wojciecha Mońki w defensywie mistrzowskiego Lecha Poznań. Dzięki temu w skali całej ligi przychody ze sprzedaży zawodników wzrosły rok do roku o 58%. W kontekście młodych graczy często nadużywane jest słowo potencjał, które coraz częściej pada też w dyskusji o całej polskiej ekstraklasie, głównie
Booking.com, booking.yeah.
For businesses of all sizes, T-Mobile is reinventing business internet with super broadband. Powered by America's fastest 5G internet, plus Starlink satellites. Super broadband reaches every zip code in...
So Manchester City just paid over £100 million for a midfielder, which sounds normal until you hear where they bought him from. And honestly, that isn't even close to the strangest thing that happened this summer. Because while you were away, 9 Premier League clubs changed manager. 9. In one summer. That has never happened before. 5 of the 6 biggest clubs in the country have a new man in charge. Meanwhile, the British transfer record got broken. So if you switched off in May and you're only tuning back in now, you've got some catching up to do. Now there are new rules this season as well, but I already covered all of those in a separate video. So go watch that one after this. This one is about everything else. The bosses, the money, and the decisions nobody can explain. So grab a drink because this is the full catch-up. And we may as well start right at the top. Arsenal won the league, actually won it. That sentence still feels strange to type. 22 years of waiting, over. So what do you do the summer after finally winning it? You don't relax, you attack. Piero Hincapié's loan was made permanent, and Ilan Meslier arrived for free. Leandro Trossard left for Besiktas. Jakub Kiwior went to Porto. Christos Tsolis came in from Club Brugge for 34 million. 22 goals last season, a proper upgrade on the left. But the signing ever publicly, he was not for sale. Repeatedly, Arsenal kept going anyway, and eventually that stance softened. Champions strengthening by taking the captain off a rival. That's a statement. That's how you know a club is serious. They didn't stand still after winning. Now let's talk about the other big story of the summer. New managers, lots of them. Pep Guardiola left Manchester City after 10 years and about 20 trophies. City replaced him with Enzo Maresca, who used to be on Pep's own coaching staff. So City didn't really change philosophy, they just changed who's holding the pen. But the pen isn't drawing the exact same lines. There are real differences, and they matter. Under Guardiola, City built attacks slowly. Patient possession, waiting for the exact right gap. Maresca's teams at Leicester and at Chelsea used a very similar base, but they pushed the tempo higher once the ball reached the final third. So expect the same careful structure in build-up, but sharper, more direct decisions in the final 20 yards. It's a small shift on paper. Over a full season, it can be the difference between 1 goal and 3. Their headline signing cost over £100 million. Elliot Anderson, a midfielder from Nottingham Forest, let that sink in. A club record spent on a player from a recently promoted side. So what does Anderson actually do that's worth that money? Let's look at the pitch. He's a box-to-box midfielder, he defends his own box, then arrives in the opponent's a few seconds later. That covers a very specific hole City have had. Their midfield could control games, it couldn't always run. Anderson is the engine. The structure stays the same, the speed completely changes. That's a very specific problem to spend a club record on. City still think in exact terms, not star power. Over at Liverpool, who finished a disappointing 5th last season, Andoni Iraola is now in charge. And here's the genuinely brutal part. Mohamed Salah, one of the best players in the world, just left. If you have a Liverpool fan in your life, check on them today. They are not okay. Liverpool spent a record amount last summer, and this summer they're spending big again, which means almost every assumption about this squad is now useless. It all has to be rebuilt from scratch. And then there's Chelsea, who hired Xabi Alonso on top of everything else they usually do. Their transfer strategy remains exactly what it's always been. Buy everyone, sort it out later. They currently have roughly 47 midfielders, most of them on contracts longer than a mortgage. Nobody, including the manager, knows who is starting on Sunday. They've already broken £100 million on a single deal this summer. Again, 3 of England's biggest clubs, 3 new managers, all at exactly the same time. But the 2 smartest moves of the summer might have actually happened somewhere else entirely. Not every big story this summer was a good one. A couple of clubs have had a genuinely rough window. Liverpool losing Mohamed Salah is the obvious one. Losing your top scorer and talisman in one summer is brutal. Even with heavy spending to replace that quality, there's no guarantee it clicks together in year one. Manchester United fans have watched this exact story before. A big rebuild, a new manager, promising signings on paper. The difference this year is Carrick finally has the permanent tag and a full summer to build his own squad, not someone else's leftovers. Whether that's enough, honestly, nobody knows yet. Least of all, United fans themselves. They're just relieved nobody said the word rebuild this time, for the 12th year in a row. And then there's the quieter kind of losing. The clubs who simply did nothing while their rivals spent billions. Standing still isn't automatically a mistake. Sometimes it's smart, like Palace after their trophy season. But for a mid-table club that badly needed reinforcements, standing still is how you end up relegated by March. We'll know which one it was for each club by around Christmas. That's usually when the truth shows up. And if you're enjoying catching up like this, subscribe as we go. Manchester United finally made their manager permanent. No interim time. He's just the manager now. After years of temporary fixes, that alone is a genuinely big deal for this club. His central midfield is basically brand new, built around Yuri Tielemans and Andrei Santos. Both signed from rivals. Tielemans arrived from Aston Villa, Santos from Chelsea. Different skill sets, same central zone. On paper, they finally complement each other properly, which hasn't been true at this club in a very long time. Now here's a club that had one of the strangest seasons ever, and somehow it still worked out. They battled relegation for most of last season, genuinely fighting to survive. They also have a new manager now.
You're invited to join Phoenix Energy's next webinar, where you can drill deeper into our bond offerings. We currently offer 2 investment opportunities. A private placement bond offering for accredited investors with target annual interest rates between 9 and 13%. Also, we offer a registered bond offering open to both accredited and non-accredited investors with rates ranging from 9 to 12%. Our daily production rates have risen as high as 39,000 barrels of oil per day. We've sold more than 10 million barrels. And we're just getting started. Sign up for the bond webinar.
14 months ago, Michael Carrick was unemployed, sacked, dismissed by Middlesbrough, a mid-table championship club, in June 2025 after they finished 10th in England's second division and missed the playoffs. No Premier League club came for him, no Champions League club called. His managerial career, by every conventional measure, was going backwards. Today, that same man is the permanent head coach of Manchester United, with a contract to 2028, a Champions League campaign starting in September, and the single best points per game record of any manager in England over the second half of last season. And here is the strange part. Almost nobody believes in him. Listen to the pundits this pre-season. Arsenal are champions and 6-4 favourites to go back-to-back. Manchester City are beginning life after Pep Guardiola and sit second in the market. Liverpool have Andoni Iraola and a point to prove. And United are the polite footnote. Lovely story, great half season, but it's a small sample. They'll regress. Wait until the Champions League games pile up. Since the odds opened in July, United have actually drifted from 6-1 out to 13-2, while Chelsea have shortened. The market watched United finish third, watched them beat every member of the so-called Big Six that mattered, and quietly decided it was a fluke. This video is the case for why that is the single laziest assumption in English football right now. Not a hot take, a case built on facts, on numbers, and on one statistic from last season that almost nobody is saying out loud. Stay to the end, because the last section is the one the doubters will not want to hear. Before Carrick's story, before the transfers, before Bruno Fernandes, start with a number. 39 That is the number of Premier League points Manchester United collected from the moment Michael Carrick took charge in January until the end of the season. 17 league matches, 12 wins, 3 draws, 2 defeats, 39 points from a possible 51. Now put that number in context, because context is where it stops being a nice stat and starts being a warning to the rest of the league. 39 points in that period was more than any other club in England collected, more than Manchester City, and yes, more than Arsenal, the team that actually won the title. Arsenal finished the season as champions on 85 points, and across the stretch of the season that Carrick managed, United outpointed them. Stretch Carrick's rate across a full campaign and it comes to roughly 2.29 points per game, an 87-point pace. Arsenal won the title with 85, the second lowest winning total since Leicester City's 81 in 2015 to 16. In other words, over 17 matches Carrick's United played at a rate that would have won last season's Premier League. And during that same stretch, no club in the division scored more goals than they did. This was not a soft run either. Under Carrick, United beat Manchester City. They beat Arsenal. They beat Liverpool. They beat Chelsea. Harry Maguire admitted that when Carrick walked in with Arsenal and City as two of the first fixtures, everyone inside the dressing room feared the worst. United took 6 points from those games, and Maguire said that from that moment, the belief never left. Remember where they started.
Yeah,
Under
we're
Ruben
gonna do
Amorim,
this here,
United
man.
had produced their worst ever Premier League finish, 15th the season
I don't
before.
really keep up with
Amorim
English
was
football like
dismissed
that,
on
but
January 5th,
United's my team.
2026, after a breakdown with the club's hierarchy, with United sitting just outside the top 5. Darren Fletcher held the fort for 8 days. Then Carrick arrived, and a drifting season became a 71-point third-place finish. A 29-point improvement year on year, the biggest leap by any club in the division, and a return to the Champions League after a 2-year absence. So the question that should define United's season is simple. Was that half season the illusion? Or was the previous decade the illusion? Be honest about how the football world treated this appointment, because the scepticism was loud, and it has not gone away. When Carrick was named interim in January, the reaction was that United had gone cheap and sentimental. A club legend with no top-flight managerial record, sacked by a championship side 7 months earlier, handed the biggest job in English football because the hierarchy could not agree on anything better. ESPN openly framed the permanent appointment in May as a gamble after 13 years of failed hires since Sir Alex Ferguson walked away in 2013. Moyes, Van Gaal.
At Granger, we have over 1 million products, including the ones that help keep your...
Mourinho, Solskjaer, Rangnick, Ten Hag, Amorim. 7 managers, 1 broken succession. But look at what Carrick actually is, rather than what his CV looks like. As a player, he won 5 Premier League titles, the 2008 Champions League, the Europa League, the FA Cup, and 2 League Cups at this club. He spent years on the coaching staff under Mourinho and Solskjaer, learning the building from the inside. And in his first caretaker spell in late 2021, after Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was sacked, he took 3 matches and did not lose one of them, winning away at Villarreal in the Champions League and beating Arsenal in his final game before stepping aside. At Middlesbrough, he inherited a team in the bottom half of the Championship in October 2022 and dragged them to 4th and the playoffs inside 8 months. The ending was ugly, a 10th place finish and the sack in 2025, and no honest video hides that. But United's decision makers, Chief Executive Omar Barada,
and it's strange though, but like Michael Carrick. He's won all these shits, right? Currently working as a manager at Man United. He did. He started with West Ham. U18s went up until played for them for a while. But chat, I feel like he actually, I guess these were just loans until. I feel like there's something crazy about like having this place, having this spot, having this like whatever, where when like you walk in or something, like you just become goated. Or like it could be like you could revert back to old ways. dude. Where's this last card? I'm missing one. It's like you see someone old that you used to, and then you like revert back to how you were when you were with them, or not like, you know, it could be like a friend or anything, but like, I don't know. I feel like it's weird. And like you can make a bunch of like progress in your life, but then you like go back to your parents' house, and it's like.
Director of football Jason Wilcox watched 16 league matches of evidence at the highest level and made the only rational call. 11 wins from those first 16. The permanent contract, signed on 22nd May, runs to 2028. And the players talk about him in a way United players have not talked about a manager in years. Andre Santos, on the day he signed, called Carrick the perfect honest counterpoint stated fairly, because a script that hides it is propaganda. 17 league games is 17 league games. New manager bounces are real, they are common, and they fade. Carrick has never managed a full season in the Premier League. His only European experience as a manager is 3 caretaker matches 5 years ago. And the fixture list he is about to face includes a minimum of 6 extra Champions League nights against the best teams on the continent. Every one of those points is legitimate. Hold them in your head while you hear what comes next. Here is the part of the story that looks like a weakness and might be the opposite. United's summer so far. In Youri Tielemans from Aston Villa, a £35 million release clause triggered quickly and quietly, a 29-year-old with 7 years of Premier League experience on a 5-year deal. Andre Santos from Chelsea for £48 million, a £22 million, and Cristian Orozco from Colombia for under £1 million. Out Casemiro, gone to Inter Miami at the end of his contract after 160 appearances. Rasmus Højlund, sold permanently to Napoli for £44 million after his loan, there triggered a clause. Jadon Sancho released, the end of a £73 million disaster. Tyrell Malaysia released. Andre Onana loaned back out to Trabzonspor for a second season. Total spend, roughly £88 million. Net spend, roughly £44 million. In a summer where Manchester City paid £116 million for Elliot Anderson and Chelsea paid £117 million for Morgan Rogers, United's entire net outlay is a third of one rival signing. The left wing still needs a body, with Marcus Rashford back from his Barcelona loan and his future genuinely unresolved. Left back depth behind Luke Shaw is thin. It is nearly the middle of August, the window shuts on 1st September, and that is not a finished squad. So why call it a possible strength? Because United already did their spending a year early. In the summer of 2025, the club committed more than £200 million to a brand new front line. Benjamin Sesko from Leipzig, Brian Mbomo from Brentford, Matheus Cunha from Wolves. That attack delivered. Sesko and Mbomo finished last season as United's joint top scorers with 11 league goals each, and during Carrick's spell, nobody in England outscored his team. This summer's business is not a rebuild because the rebuild already happened. Tielemans and Santos are surgical replacements for Casemiro's legs, the one department that was visibly aging. Everything else Carrick asked to keep, he kept.
Lab Golf proved that face stability changes everything. They opened the door. But there was a second problem they didn't solve. Zero torque stops the face from twisting, but it doesn't stop the face from drifting open on your stroke arc.
Compare that to the 2 winters United fans have lived through, where every new manager demanded a new squad, and you see the actual story. For the first time in over a decade, Manchester United are adding to something instead of starting again. Now the argument that separates United from every rival, and it hides in a fact that sounded like an embarrassment when it was first reported. Last season, Manchester United were on course for their fewest matches in a campaign since 1914-15, out of the FA Cup in the 3rd round, out of the League Cup in the 2nd round. No European football at all. For a club of United size, it was called a humiliation, a glaring void of midweek nights. Flip it around. While Arsenal, City, Liverpool and Chelsea ground through 50 and 60 game seasons, United's players spent a full year training under one coaching plan with a free week between almost every match. Carrick had something no United manager has had since Ferguson: time on the training pitch. That is where an 18-game surge is manufactured. Then came the summer, and the advantage got bigger. About a dozen United players went to the World Cup in North America, and the club's two most important attackers were not among them. Slovenia failed to qualify, so Benjamin Sesko spent June and July resting. Cameroon failed to qualify, so Brian Mbeumo did the same. Harry Maguire was left out by Thomas Tuchel and made his feelings known. But the football consequence is that United's entire first-choice frontline reports for pre-season fresh, while Arsenal and City wait for finalists and semi-finalists to trickle back from a tournament that only ended on July 19th, when Spain beat Argentina in extra time in New Jersey. And then there is the fixture computer, which has handed Carrick a gift. Sky Sports called United's first 6 games statistically the easiest opening run in the league. Newly promoted Hull City away on 22nd August. Newly promoted Ipswich at home. Everton away. The first genuine test is the Manchester Derby at Old Trafford on 12th September. In the same week, United return to the Champions League. The away trips to Chelsea, Liverpool and Arsenal all come before New Year. And then every one of those teams must come to Old Trafford inside a 35-day window between January and February. The run-in is even kinder. None of last season's Champions League qualifiers appear in United's final 8 fixtures, which close at home to Fulham. Fresh legs, a settled system, a soft launch, and a run-in built for a chase. Title races have been won on less. Every version of this season runs through one man, so deal with him directly. Bruno Fernandes was the Footballer of the Year. Both of them, in fact, the FWA award, the first by a United player since Wayne Rooney in 2009-10, and the Premier League Player of the Season, the first by a United player since Nemanja Vidic in 2010-11. He beat Declan Rice to the FWA vote by 28 votes and saw off Erling Haaland for the league's own award. And look at how he did it. 8 goals and 20 assists in the Premier League, 20. That equals the all-time single-season record in the competition's history, held jointly by Thierry Henry and Kevin De Bruyne. A 31-year-old central midfielder in a team that started the season 15th and drifting matched the greatest creative campaign anyone has ever produced in this league. He had refused a fortune from Saudi Arabia the previous summer to stay and see it through. Then he went to the World Cup and started for a Portugal side built around a 41-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo and came back, as ever, without the international medal his club form deserves. Here is the uncomfortable detail underneath the celebration. Bruno turns 32 in September and his contract runs to 2027, which makes this his final guaranteed season at the club, with no extension announced. Luke Shaw, who remarkably started every league game last season, is approaching the same cliff. United's spine has been magnificent, and United's spine is aging on exactly the timeline of Carrick's 2-year deal. That is why this season matters so much more than a normal transition year. The Sesko and Mbeumo Cunha front line is young. Santos, Lenny Yoro, Patrick Dorgu, Kobbie Mainoo, Ahmad and Lamins are the next core. But the bridge between the future and a trophy is Bruno's next 10 months. If Carrick's United are going to win something, the Russian. Half-season miracles are the most reliably misleading pattern in football. United's 87-point pace was built on 17 games. Champions are built on 38. The moment results wobble, this squad has 13 years of scar tissue waiting to reopen. Second, the calendar. United go from the fewest matches in a century to a Champions League phase. Domestic cups they will be expected to take seriously, and a squad that, beyond the first 14 or 15 names, is unproven at that combined load. The freshness advantage of last season is a one-time gift, and it is already spent. Third, the market has watched all of this and moved the other way. Arsenal...
Good boy. Now sign this divorce paper. My daughter is remarrying someone who doesn't smell like dirt.
I spent all my savings on this spaceship. How could you treat me like this? I will build a powerful fleet and make all of you my servants!
Start with a modest...
6-4, City 11-4, even while replacing Guardiola. Liverpool 5-1, United drifting to 13-2, with Chelsea closing in behind. Professional money is saying the third place finish flattered them. The bookmakers' base case is a top 4 scrap, not a title challenge. And fourth, the ghosts. Every United revival since 2013 has been declared the real one. Van Gaal won an FA Cup and was sacked within days. Mourinho finished second and imploded within months. Solskjaer's bounce was the template for false dawns. Ten Hag won the League Cup and the FA Cup, was handed a contract extension and was sacked 9 games into the following season, with United did win the Premier League in 2026 to 27. The honest answer, it is not the likeliest outcome. Arsenal on 85 points with the best defence in the league and a settled champion core are favourites for a reason, and United are asking a manager with 17 top-flight league games behind him to outlast them across 38 plus Europe. But the likeliest outcome is not the interesting question. The interesting question is, which Manchester United is real? The one that spent a decade lurching between saviours, or the one that, from January to May, took more points than the champions, beat every rival it faced, kept its record scorers fresh all summer, and enters August with the easiest opening 6 fixtures in the division and its 2 hardest home games scheduled for the exact month its rivals hit Champions League congestion. If the 39 points were real, this is a title contender hiding at 13-2, and the first true evidence arrives on September 12th, when a post-Guardiola Manchester City walk into Old Trafford. If the 39 points were a mirage, we will know that quickly too, and Carrick's contract to 2028 will start to look like what the cynics always said it was. Either way, understand what has actually happened here. A man who was sacked by Middlesbrough 14 months ago now holds the best recent points record in England. A rebuilt £200 million attack, a rested squad, a kind calendar, and the double footballer of the year wearing his armband. The rest of the league is treating that as a nice story. It might be the biggest mistake any of them make all season.
Hopping out of reach, hopping in my head, I'm out of staying, I'm 1,000 miles away. Surfing on the tsunami, baby, I'm on the way. Surfing on the tsunami, baby, I'm on the way. In my shirt, in my hair, it's in your face. That bitch on fire. In my shirt, in my hair, it's in your face. That bitch on fire. Hey, it's in your face. That bitch on fire. Been out of reach, I've been in. Hitting all the stains and the 1,000 miles away. I've been out of reach, I've been in my head. Catch me on the map if you really wanna play. Join my side on the straight, I've been feeling like oh yeah. Catch me on the map if you really wanna play. Join my side on the straight, I've been feeling like oh yeah. Catch me on the map if you really wanna play. I just with her, I've been MIA. I just with her, I've been MIA. I just don't really know none of you. Cutting up the birds till my thumb is blue. Always say a pro, never been no rookie.
Alright, last pick, my
like a big silver. Keep it on the low, I ain't giving no shrug. Pull up in the ghost looking like a plug. Took a little trip and they think I'm gone. Still a heavy hitter in the zone. Go, M-I-A. Go, M-I-A. M-I-A. Hopping out of reach.